So time now for the second race of the day for the X30 Super Shifters, which saw Stendorian Perimagi take pole position in qualifying yesterday by just 0.07 of a second to Kasper Korjus. And a brilliant battle it was earlier on today that saw Kasper Korjus just taking the victory over his Estonian rival. Nico Rohrwasser, third on the grid. Alongside him is the Spaniard Carlos Leon. Barry Pullinger of Great Britain lines up on the third row of the grid alongside Thierry Del Rey in the sixth position. Then we have Philippe Siever, Michel Bifiga, Kevin Luddy, Flo Jimenez, Antti Rameau, Lionel Chalet and Joao Diaz finishing off the grid in what promises to be another thriller from the X30 Super Shifters. The gearbox karts, the fastest of the weekend, of course the toughest to drive, and gives us the best spectacle on the start line because of course these are the standing start machines, the beasts of Salbris this weekend, as we get some absolutely cracking racing from them around the circuit. And it's great to see so many incredible challenges, great overtakes and some very thrilling maneuvers from the drivers in the field. Now we had some difficulties in the last one because we had a couple of retirements. Namely, in the last race, we had Carlos Leon and Thierry Del Rey dropping out of proceedings. Philippe Siever doing likewise, so we'll need to keep an eye on these guys. The sun has come out. It's a little bit hotter and warmer than it was earlier this morning. To prove the point, I'm actually taking my jacket off, which I never thought I'd do in the middle of March. But it's a really interesting battle that we've got from the X30 Super Shifters, in particular from the front of the field, from the Estonians, Kasper Korjus versus Stendorian Perimagi. Kevin Luddy is having to play the comeback kid for every single race today, based on not having the greatest of qualifying sessions from his point of view yesterday, starting only down in 9th position today. We haven't quite seen the ultimate speed that we thought we were going to see from either Thierry Del Rey or Barry Pullinger, who are there on the third row of the grid. They're inside the top 6, but I have a feeling we're going to see a bit more speed from them over the course of the weekend. We certainly deserve to, because they are two of the top names in this championship grid, having had plenty of success in the Benelux senior categories. But we'll see how they go as the drivers head out onto the starting grid for the first of their 2 formation laps. So once again, thanks to qualifying yesterday, Stendorian Perimagi lines up in pole position from Kasper Korjus, then Nico Rohrwasser and Carlos Leon, Barry Pullinger and Thierry Del Rey, Philippe Siever and Michel Bifiga, Kevin Luddy and Flo Jimenez, the Frenchman, Antti Rameau, Lionel Chalet and Joao Diaz completes the grid. Now, who's going to win this time? Because Perimagi was 0.07 of a second quicker in yesterday's qualifying. In the earlier race, Kasper Korjus managed to get the victory away from him. But we've also got the likes of Nico Rohrwasser, Carlos Leon, Barry Pullinger and Thierry Del Rey in amongst them. So this could be interesting. Plus we've got the likes of Philippe Siever and Kevin Luddy to the inside line as well. But as we know, in the X30 Super Shifter, all it takes is a spectacular getaway and the entire race changes. I can't help but giggle because I'm looking down the paddock once again. And where it gets quiet in between races, it's amazing how many people suddenly dart to the pit wall to watch the X30 Super Shifter start. It is a very dramatic spectacle, as we know. There's nothing quite like a standing start gearbox kart race, and in X30 Super Shifters here at Salbris, it's no exception because they really do blast off the line like catapults. And it is wonderful to watch them blast through those first couple of corners with all of that passion and vitality and noise. It sends a real shiver down your spine, and it goes to the bone marrow of those who are head over heels in love with go-karting. It's absolutely spectacular. So Stendorian Perimagi and Kasper Korjus on the front row of the grid for the fastest karting class we have, the X30 Super Shifters, here in the first round of the 2018 IAME European Series for X30 Super Shifter at the Circuit International de Salbris. Salonia Karting, as it's known, not too far away from the town of Salbris, which is only about 3 hours from Paris. A fantastic place to come racing this. It's a wonderful circuit in the heart of the French countryside, and it really does have an amazing backdrop of supreme French forest. You look around you in all directions and all you can see is trees and wildlife. It is a fantastic setting, this, and a very mysterious and curious race circuit, this one. And the drivers will bring their karts around at the end of the second formation lap to form up on the starting grid for the spectacular draw that is the standing start of the X30 Super Shifter race. On the left-hand side in pole position, Stendorian Perimagi. To the right is Kasper Korjus on the front row with him. then Nico Rohrwasser, Carlos Leon, Barry Pullinger, Thierry Del Rey, Philippe Siever, Michel Biffiger, Kevin Ludi, Flo Jimenez, Antti Ramo, Leonor Chalet, and Joao Diaz brings up the position at the back of the grid. The flag is taken away, the lights are on, they will go out, and when they do, we'll go racing. The lights come on, and we're racing now! What a start from the 622. Del Rey gets a cracking getaway and is up to third position straight off the mark. Not a great start, though, for Casper Corjus, who has fallen back into fifth position. Carlos Leon trying to hang on to things round the outside and make up a position or two. And it looks to me as though Corjus has at least saved his bacon a little there and emerges in fourth place. I can see Carlos Leon there in about sixth position. So as they come through at the end of the first sector, the fastest of them all is the man in the lead, Stentorian Pirimagi. Then it is Nico Rohrwasser in second, Thierry Del Rey, and I think it is Casper Corjus come next. A really interesting start as they continue to battle away around the circuit. Only on this first lap will we really see how the ebb and flow of this race will play out. Stentorian Pirimagi, however, has got himself the perfect getaway ahead of Nico Rohrwasser, the Valencia Winter Cup champion, and Thierry Del Rey on the Mach 1 in third position. Some good battles on the first lap, and here they come across the line at the end of the first lap. Pirimagi leads, Rohrwasser, Del Rey, and it looks like we've got mechanical problems again for Flo Jimenez. Flo Jimenez is again having problems. The Frenchman looks like he's about to peel off into the pits. Flo Jimenez, his hand is in the air, and the Frenchman is out of this race, having come back into the pits. What a disaster. Second race in a row that Flo Jimenez has retired. Barely even lasts one full lap. So Pirimagi leading. Rohrwasser and Del Rey are having an amazing battle. Thierry Del Rey knows everything there is to know about Benelux gearbox karting. He is absolutely superb, and this part of the world is his backyard very nearly. The Belgian knows Salbris very well indeed, knows this place absolutely succinctly, and Nico Rohrwasser in second place is going to have a multitude of pressure from the Belgian. Fourth place is Casper Corjus. Philippe Siever is coming back into the game in fifth place now, ahead of Kevin Ludi and Carlos Leon. Barry Pullinger is in eighth place. Michel Biffiger, Antti Ramo, Leonor Chalet, and Joao Diaz are next. Only two drivers have cracked the 60-second barrier thus far. All of them should do by the end of the race. But look at Thierry Del Rey cutting across on Rohrwasser. What a move from Del Rey. Thierry Del Rey gets into second position on the outside on the run to turn 3, and that was track knowledge from Thierry Del Rey. He knew that there was more grip on the outside than Rohrwasser was aware of, and that was a cracking move, and now he's disappearing. Thierry Del Rey wants to win this one and knows he's got an opportunity to do it with an absolutely sensational move on the outside of turn 3. That was formidable and incroyable, magnificent from Thierry Del Rey. Brilliant racing. And he's now into P2, but Stentorian Pirimagi is a good 1.6 seconds up the road. He's going to be hard to catch. Behind these guys in second and third, Del Rey and Rohrwasser, we've got Casper Corjus in fourth, being chased down by Philippe Siever. There's your leader, Stentorian Pirimagi, running very well, leading the way comfortably. And he sets another new fastest lap, a 59.683. The only man able to cope with that is Kevin Ludi on a 59.691. Everybody else is not quite able to break the 60-second mark yet, but Stentorian Pirimagi is, and is pulling away. Kevin Ludi getting onto the back of Philippe Siever for the battle for fifth position, but the second place is a five-way scrap. Del Rey, Rohrwasser, Corjus, Siever, and Ludi. Barry Pullinger is seventh place. Michel Biffiger is eighth, then Carlos Leon, Antti Ramo, Leonor Chalet, and Joao Diaz. As they come onto the far side of the circuit, Thierry Del Rey is doing a fantastic job in second position in front of Nico Rohrwasser. And now is Casper Corjus going to get a bit of a challenge for Philippe Siever? Well, we thought there was. Siever was definitely getting on with it, but Corjus defended very well there into 14. There was no way he was going to come past once he slammed the door shut. Antti Ramo, meanwhile, has got past the Spaniard, Carlos Leon. So he has moved forward and is trying to drop the Spaniard into the clutches of Leonel Chalet. Joao Diaz is still going as fast as he possibly can there in 12th position, still getting to know the sport a little bit as he progresses. Now everybody in the top 7 has cracked the 60-second barrier. Pirimagi first place, Del Rey second, Rohrwasser third, then Corjus, Siever, Ludi, and Barry Pullinger. And there's 2.3 seconds separating Ludi and Pullinger, so it's going to take a while for the Brit to catch up with Kevin Ludi, but at least his lap times are showing just how strong he can be. He's got a little bit unlucky on the start in terms of the ebb and flow. Stendorian Pidemargi, fastest of all in the first sector on this lap again. He's just finding speed where others are really struggling to. But how about this for a five-way scrap for second position, as now Nico Rohrwasser is really starting to pressurize Thierry Delray once again. The thing is, Stendorian Pidemargi had a bit of a gap beforehand, and now he is just continuing on his ascent of the circuit, and the lead is getting bigger and bigger rather than smaller and smaller. Now Philippe Siever tried to make the move there on Casper Corjus, and now Ludi's going to try and get the move on Siever. The door is slammed firmly shut in his face there, as Corjus now has a go at Rohrwasser. Can he get through? No, he's not going to be able to do that. That backs him into Siever, and that backs Siever into Kevin Ludi. And the gap is coming down now between Ludi and Pullinger as a result of that. Up the inside goes Siever. He is impatient. He's had enough of being sat behind Corjus. So he goes for the move and gets through, and is now tucked up behind his teammate Rohrwasser. Ludi is going to try for Casper Corjus now. Don't even think about it, wise guy. I'm going to hold on to this, thank you. So Corjus continues there in 5th place. But there is the man out in front, Stendorian Pidemargi, leading the way. The Estonian is just absolutely on a march here. Completes the 6th lap, 5 to go, and he leads comfortably. 3 seconds more than clear of Thierry Delray in 2nd place. 3rd is Nico Rohrwasser, then it's Philippe Siever, Kevin Ludi, Casper Corjus, and now only a second back is Barry Pullinger. In fact, Pullinger is going faster than all 6 of the, all 5 of the guys directly in front of him. Only Stendorian Pidemargi is faster than Barry Pullinger right now. Really good stuff at the moment as the battle continues and intensifies, but I think that's Ludi past Corjus, isn't it? Yes, it is. So Ludi is through into 5th place past Casper Corjus. Barry Pullinger is a second behind these guys now. Just take a look back, you might just be able to catch it. There he is. Barry Pullinger closing in on these guys big time, and his lap times are actually pretty strong. And the field has actually started to respond thanks to Barry Pullinger starting to reel them in a little bit. But not Stendorian Pidemargi. He's barely even breaking a sweat as he flies through turn 1. It's all guns blazing for Stendorian Pidemargi. These 3 have broken a little way clear now of Ludi and Corjus. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, that is Delray, Rohrwasser and Siever. They have broken clear of the rest. It's very unusual to see Kevin Ludi so far off the pace of Stendorian Pidemargi, who's just taking advantage of this incredible gap he's got and is just controlling the pace. Now Rohrwasser's just gone fastest of all in the 1st sector, 20.006 to be precise. We look across the 2nd sector split and we'll see what sort of times Stendorian Pidemargi is still doing. Well, the fastest of all is a 17.810. He's just done a 17.899. So Stendorian Pidemargi still at race-winning pace, not easing up any at all, and looking very strong. In fact, the fastest through the 1st sector that time around, by 9 thousandths of a second, or by a few hundredths actually, was Barry Pullinger. I was going to say Casper Corjus, but then Barry Pullinger went through slightly a fraction quicker. And now with 3 laps to go, Stendorian Pidemargi's lead is 3.5 seconds to Thierry Delray, Nico Rohrwasser and Philippe Siever. Here they are, Delray, Rohrwasser and Siever. 1, 2, 3, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. But it isn't done yet, because if you look back, they've still got Kevin Ludi and Casper Corjus not far away. And Barry Pullinger is a second back, but he just can't quite get closer than that. And that's just because of the way that the ebb and flow of the circuit has gone his way. The 1st sector of the 1st lap was not really in his favour. He didn't get the perfect start he needed. Oh, and up the inside, that's a late lunge as Rohrwasser makes the move on Thierry Delray. Now Delray is not going to be happy about that. He'll want to try and challenge him back. And this is perfect for Stendorian Pidemargi. That means that the race is now better than the 2nd. Delray comes straight back. Rohrwasser barely leaves him any room at all, and Siever is able to get through as a result of it. Jostling for position and banging barge boards as they came through. So now they come across the line once again, and it's Thierry Delray now in front of Philippe Siever, the Swiss. Nico Rohrwasser, fellow Swiss, is in there, and now look at Ludi and Corjus, but look back, Pullinger's right in the mix now as well. So if these guys continue to challenge, Barry Pullinger may get himself a crack at the top 6. So some great racing. From behind them, we've got Michel Biffiger, Antti Ramo and Carlos Leon having a nice scrap. And then Leon Chalet and Joao Diaz are just making up the numbers, unfortunately, in 11th and 12th for the moment. Stendorian Pinamagi continues to run at the front, no problems at all. 4.2 clear now, thanks to Del Rey and Rohrwasser having their battle. Courjus is down in 6th position, having won the previous race. So that shows you how everything can change on a dial in X30 Super Shifter. Ludi had a look at Rohrwasser. Rohrwasser not giving him enough space to have a serious look as Stendorian Pinamagi begins the final lap. Over the line, and there's the rest of the field for second. That's how big the lead he's got. Del Rey second, third Seaver, then Rohrwasser, Ludi, Courjus and Pullinger. And Rohrwasser defending beautifully in front of Kevin Ludi, just nailing himself to the inside line. Pullinger is now right behind Kasper Courjus as they come off the turn as well. 4 carts grappling for 4th position. Rohrwasser, Ludi, Courjus and Pullinger. Pullinger having a switch to go for Courjus. Courjus defends to the inside line. But Barry Pullinger is not able to get through yet. There's still a little bit more time to go. But the battle for 2nd, for 4th and for 6th, they're all very close indeed. But Stendorian Pinamagi is just marching to the victory out in front of the rest of the field. He doesn't even need to push at this rate. But there's still going to be some epic tussles towards the end of the race. For 2nd place, I think it's done and dusted between Thierry Del Rey and Philippe Seaver. For 4th and 6th, it's not quite finished yet. But the checkered flag is out for Stendorian Pinamagi. Pinamagi takes it. 2nd for Del Rey, 3rd for Seaver. Rohrwasser, Ludi, Courjus and Pullinger. What a terrific last couple of laps. Great to see the field tightening up there at the end. Antti Ramo is 8th from Biffiger, Leon, Chalet and Diaz. Magnificent racing. It's always feisty in the X30 Super Shifters. You're never going to get to see racing faster than this after such an intense battle. But some absolutely majestic racing there from 1st down to 7th. And then all the way, we even saw a good battle towards the end there between Antti Ramo, Michel Biffiger and Carlos Leon. Well, what a terrific race. Stendorian Pinamagi of Estonia wins by 3.4 seconds to Thierry Del Rey, Philippe Seaver, Nicolas Rohrwasser, Kevin Ludi, Kasper Courjus, Barry Pullinger, Antti Ramo, Michel Biffiger, Carlos Leon, Leon Chalet and Joao Diaz, with sadly just one non-finisher, that of the local man Florian Jimenez, who just again suffered with mechanical difficulties, pulling off after just 1 lap. Well, we've had 2 different winners. They're both Estonian. They've both started the race from the front of the grid. Kasper Courjus and Stendorian Pinamagi. Who's going to win the 3rd qualifying heat? We'll have to stick around to find out, but it's definitely going to be a close battle.